we're doing that for everything, including the sulcus-to-sulcus, ciliary body to ciliary body, and sulcus-to-sulcus lens rise, which is here. There we go. So yeah, so we're done doing that. Any questions?
Nope, very clear, thanks.
So post-op scans. So you can do right now for every patient at 3 months we're doing just a normal scan set. I think what are the meridians? I'll let Barry take over. We're taking we do OCT, B scan, and at every visit, and then an insight at 3 months. If there's no problem with the vault, so if we're happy and the lens looks like it's sitting nicely, the vault within your comfort zone, then we just do the scan set as Barry is pulled up. That's it. If the lens is sitting too high, or it looks like it's a bit kind of tilted inside the eye, then we're going to then go and search for the footplate. To search for the footplate, you can do that in one of two ways. You can either find the hole in the center of the lens, and then you can guess where the footplate would be from there. What we're doing is for toric lenses, we're looking at the pre-op rotation diagram that was printed, and then we'll move the scan set. So Sarah will move the scan set to where we think the footplate should be, and you can close it a little bit as well, and then we'll do a scan set there to have a look and see what's going on to make sure it's sitting in the right position.
So Ryan, just consider the EVO lens with the hole is not approved in the U.S.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you have to do then have a look at your implantation diagram for your toric lenses, and then you can go from there and narrow it down over time.
Okay.
Actually, we have a patient right now where it's sitting funny, and what we found was that one is actually sitting up above the very zip. I'll show you.
Ryan, how many days post-op are you feeling comfortable to image a lens?
If they have no problem, then if they have no problem, then we're doing it at 3 months. If there's a problem, then we change everything out to completely, all new everything. Water line, the cup, the shield, everything's brand new out of the package, and we'll do it at 1 week.
All right.
So here's the patient. So you can see how that lens is tilted. So the left side on the screen, the left side of the lens is sitting up higher. If you go,
Actually, coming tomorrow. You remember the left side?
Yeah.
Well. Was she having eye pressure issues, this patient here?
So there's no problem at all.
Just looks very narrow on slit lamp.
Yeah, so the angle was preoperatively was small. So preoperatively the angle was a bit narrow. I think it was like 22 the other. And so, yeah, so post-operatively it looked very narrow on split lamp. And so we had the patient come in 1 week to do a post-op, and you can see how the left side of the lens, it kind of sits down in the foot, it rides into the ciliary body, but on the right side, you see the ciliary body sits there, the hair is pointing to, and the lens is actually sitting above that, so it's making that side of the lens ride up higher and causing a narrow, or, you know, an angle that's like 10 degrees, which is our surgeon's not happy with. So he's actually going to go in on Thursday and rotate that lens a little bit. It's a spherical lens, so we're going to rotate that lens to see if we get it. The ciliary body was only about 7 degrees in scan. So he's going to rotate it and see if just moving it away from the ciliary body disc and drop that side back, and then the vault will be fine.
Was that ciliary body cyst noted pre-op?
No, we didn't see it because it was at, what was it? What angle was that on? Yeah. No, that's on 200 there, so I don't think we saw that preoperative. But again, that's one of the reasons that we're doing scalp scans now, because we're trying to get a little bit of a better view for anything hanging out like that might affect the position of the lens. So that's a good example of post-operatively, you know, what the insight could be used for. But in a normal patient, you know, the ICL is fine. So this is the first patient that we've actually had to do anything with, or attempt to move it a little bit. So if you're happy, we can go to the nomogram and the sizing, how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, so
that is so interesting, though. Thank you so much for showing us that cyst.
yeah, it's a nice way just to, like, rather, if you have an OCT, you can see, even on our OCT-B scan, you can see that the lens is tilted, but it's really like, you know, what do you tell the patient? You finally, now you have this. It's like, okay, well, here's an actual answer, and here's an option. We either leave it go, or we do something, or we take it out, or we wrote, you know, you can make a better clinical decision rather than saying, well, I don't know what's really happening. Let's see, let's wait and see. So it's nice in those cases. So for the sizing, so what we had used for the last 50 eyes was a combination of Doherty and Kojima. Sure. So I've hidden rows for now. There's 18 rows missing in this. I've hidden, but so what we had done for the last 50 eyes is, if you look here, so we have this is from the Doherty paper, this table, and then this is from the Kojima paper. And again, I can send those to you, or pull them or whatever, but.
I have them actually. Barry sent them to me, so thank you.
Fantastic. So the Doherty one, so we put in all the patient information that these two, so that's in some of these rows that are hiding, but we've entered all the information that these two call for. So sulcus-to-sulcus, ACD, sulcus-to-sulcus lens rise for this one, and then for Doherty, it's just sulcus-to-sulcus. And then we have, for this patient, so you can see here, this is just a formula that we've written. So it just chooses what Doherty would choose without us having to look at the chart, but you can just simply look over here. So for this patient, if their sulcus was, you know, anywhere from 11.1 to 12.2, Doherty would call for a 12.6. Kojima, you just, again, if you look here, this is just Kojima's formula here, put into an Excel sheet, and this pulls up what Kojima would be. Now this patient's eye is crazy, so that's why I've hidden some of these. So this isn't realistic, but usually they're very, very close. So what we've done is we've just, so what we've done is we looked at this table from what Doherty recommends, what Kojima recommends, and what Starr recommends. Ignore this Nakamura for now. And we had chosen a lens based on that. So in a normal patient, you know, it's like Doherty would recommend a 12.6, Kojima 12 point, I don't know, 7.8, Starr 13.2, let's say. Now, Kojima recommends an ideal lens size, so of course you have to make a judgment up or down. So for this patient, we would have chosen 12.6 and ignored Starr. Because this is based on white to white, these are based on ultrasound measurements. So for this patient, we would put in a 12.6 lens. So that's how we were doing every patient for the last 50 patients. And that's the way that I would recommend, that we recommend working through for now.
Okay.
And, you know, the other nice thing is that, like, if you look at the Doherty range, you know, it's a huge range that gets a 12.6 lens. So if you're struggling, like, you know, if you just couldn't get super, super clear scans, and you're getting some that are like 11.7, some that are 12.0, well, you know, for this formula, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter, because you know, you can feel comfortable that both of those, even though they're a bit different, are still going to have a 12.6 lens. But that's kind of an aside. So yeah, so we were using Doherty, Kojima, and then, I mean, the Starr's there, but we were really picking based on what these two recommended. We would then make a clinical judgment as to what the best lens would be for the patient. And in most cases, they agreed, so it was easy.
So Ryan, how did you arrive at the Doherty at 12.6 when in the column C it's calling out 13.2?
Yeah, so just ignore this altogether. I'm just saying this isn't a normal patient. This patient had very weird anatomy, so this is like a test that, for example, like if a patient had a sulcus lens size of sulcus-to-sulcus of like, I don't know, 11.7. This is just like a make-believe patient here. So if they have sulcus-to-sulcus of 11.7, and let's say you put their anatomical measurements into Doherty and Kojima, and this is what you would get, we would then choose the 12.6 lens and ignore Starr. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we just look here, and see what their outputs are, and that's it. Put it in the lens and feel 100 times more comfortable than doing white to white with calipers or IOL master or whatever.
So during the ASCRS breakfast meeting that the doctors attended, Dan spoke to the interciliary body as well as another measurement, and you're taking that into account in your nomogram, correct? And in your sizing now.
Yeah, so we're taking into account that. So our nomogram is going to include what we found after doing a multivariate regression. So we started with all of these data entry points. So ACD, angle to angle, sulcus, lens rise, all this stuff. And then we also put in white to white, ICL power, ICL size, and pupil. And when we ran the regression model, this is what came out. Sulcus-to-sulcus lens rise, which is what Kojima uses, ciliary body inner diameter, ICL power, ICL size, and scotopic pupil. So these are what are gonna be are currently in our nomogram, which, should be available.
You should share it with everybody. Okay. Like, so, there's about five problems.
So, and that will, in time, just provide this, right? So then you'll have the Doherty recommended lens size, you'll have the Kojima recommended lens size, and then you'll have our predicted output. So rather than lens size recommendation, the formula then gives you predicted bulk and lets you, it's just saying, look, here's everything. We don't have a recommended size, just here's what you're gonna get if you put that size in. So it's just adding another data point to help make a clinical decision. So that'll be available soon, but for now, just use the Doherty and Kojima.
All right. That is so helpful, everyone. I feel so much more confident about sizing. And you know, Barry, you were the first to share those two papers with me, and it's taken a while to let it sink in.
Yeah, it does.
But thank you so much for the information. Greg and I feel so much more confident about doing the measurements and now choosing, just feeling a lot less like we're gestalting a size. So thank you.
Greg, if you have any questions or need anything, either for doing the scans or when you're working with either your surgeons or your ODs, whoever's going to be evaluating the scans or putting the calipers on, then just feel free to, you've got Eric's email and my email in that chain. So just feel free to shoot us an email, and we can help with whatever.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Are there any patients where the Doherty or the Kojima, where those don't work well? Is there any type of patient where it doesn't?
Yeah. So for this patient, preoperatively, so when they have a really, really big lens rise, because Doherty doesn't take that into account. So a normal lens rise on a patient is so a normal lens rise, if you do like Sulcus-to-sulcus, this measurement for an average patient is like 0.5. So in this patient, it's double what and so the Kojima formula in this patient is going to recommend for sure is going to recommend a size bigger than Doherty in 99% of cases. So that's really where you're going to get the change. But that's all. So over the last 50 eyes, the max lens rise we had was 0.7, and then the first eye we did after the nomogram was closed was 1 point. It was this eye, so go big. But yeah, so rare, but yeah, you'll get occasionally where the Kojima recommends larger lens sizes. And see that if you read the paper, his outcome was they always had larger vault afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Any other questions?
No more questions from us.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much. This has been invaluable and very educational for us at RScan as well. And we just appreciate, everybody sharing. Very important to the whole market. Thank you.
All right, guys, have a good one. Denver.
Thanks, Ryan and Herrick.
Thank you.
Thank you so
If you
much.
need anything-
Thanks.
If you need anything from Denver, let us know.
Great, thank you
Great.
so much.
I'll probably be emailing you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Dr. Kim, I'll have to go. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.